Hello YouTube. Today I wanted to bring the topic of cheat meals on the table because it's something that as a spiritual idea within the dietary discussion is very interesting. I'm going to make the distinction between refeeds and cheat meals because refeeds to me have a much more scientific and conducive approach to them, meaning that they sound much more like something that is actually planned and that has only one goal in mind, which is to feed performance. I think that cheat meals are sort of the opposite. Cheat meals are designed to make you feel better. They're designed to make dieting easier, and there lays the problem with them. It depends on the country, depends on the time, but cheat meals come in and out of lifting culture. Sometimes they're a big hit, sometimes they're not. The country where I'm from, they're still a big thing and they never really stopped to be. It's sort of a meme at this point to talk about cheat meals. It's part of the bro culture to have cheat meals. In the US, it's sort of making a comeback with the 10K calories a day challenge and the junk food challenges, which technically are cheat meals. But what really constitutes a cheat meal? Well, a cheat meal is usually a meal that is going to be super high in calories, and well, the macros are going to be completely distorted, meaning you're most likely going to get a ton of carbs and fats, not as many proteins as you think, and you're also most likely going to have very minimum micronutrients and a ton of stuff like sodium, trans fats, etc. Why is that a problem? Well, it's a problem first because it shows that the people who indulge in that have a strict approach to diet, so strict that they need to break the rules entirely from time to time to not go crazy. Let me say that if your diet is so tight that you need the ability to once a week eat whatever junk you want, you might need to rethink your diet. You might need to rethink your approach to your diet and how you emotionally are tied to it. One, because it sounds like you're in an abusive relationship with your diet, that you need to go out on Sunday every week to go see somewhere else to find happiness, and also because it might not be the best for your training. The reason why I say that is if you throughout the week put yourself in a state where you're not fully letting your body intake nutrients and calories, if you once a week go crazy and get way too much calories and way too much macros, what do you think your body is doing with it? The idea that your body is going to somehow be able to utilize all of that surplus to make muscle is just incorrect in my opinion for multiple reasons. One, because even in normal circumstances, your body wouldn't be able to. What your body cannot use to build muscle, it's going to store, it's going to make fat out of. And because you already are in a state where you're depleting the body, once you suddenly reintroduce all of those nutrients to the body, yes, there's going to be a rebound effect. You're going to get a ton of glycogen back in the muscles. But I would also argue that you've damaged your ability beforehand to handle all of those nutrients. So there's a chance that even more of that goes to waste. And that's not even discussing the physiological aspect of it, where you're suddenly eating all of that rich food. What does that do to your stomach? What does that do to your skin? Your body, if you only give it to it once a week, is not going to be super prompt and ready to absorb all of that. It also, from a psychological aspect, is going to create a dependency, and it is going to make you detest your diet because you're always going to be waiting for that one day where you actually get to eat things that you like. How about eating things that you like every single day? To me, that is a secular, a draconian approach to diet. You don't need to be eating foods that are bad. It's not going to magically make you look like Arnold to eat foods that taste bad, that are not pleasurable to you. At the end of the day, just because a food tastes good doesn't mean that its macros are bad. Yes, foods that are highly palatable tend to have higher fats, they tend to be higher in calories. That being said, you can still avoid that. A lot of whole foods that you make yourself are going to be extremely good. They're going to be integrated in a diet that you can sustain all the time. Take my example. I don't do cheat days. Every day is a cheat day because I always eat stuff that I like. I never eat processed garbage. I try to make sure that I don't eat things with macro ratios that are completely distorted. And yet, I'm super happy with my diet. This is because I've allowed myself to test things, to modify my diet a ton, and to experiment to the point where I know exactly what I like to eat. And I now have a window of foods that is so big that if I think of a nutrient in my head, I have 10 options that I can go and actually make for myself and eat. That also is going to take some responsibility on your hand to do your own grocery shopping and to do your own cooking. All of that takes planning. It's much easier, of course, to meal prep rice and dried chicken for the week and then go completely insane and eat Sundays until you burst. To me, this is a weak-minded approach to diet because diet needs to be something you do for the rest of your life, and something that you don't like doing is not going to be something that is going to be consistently repeatable years and years and years in the future. So that's my 2 cents on cheat meals. I'm sort of a downer when it comes to that. Sorry if I rained on your parade and you enjoyed that. I understand that some people like it. They like the discrepancy between the very strict and rigid regimen of bodybuilding diets and the few rare moments where they get to eat something sweet because it makes it all the more special. But as far as health and performance goes, I really don't think that's the way to go. So thank you so much for watching. If you have some intake, go ahead in the comments. I want to make more videos about the psychological aspects of food because I think it's very relevant. A lot of people have that connection with food, but they have a tough time to intellectualize it. And to me, those are topics that I want to speak about much more than just comparing diets. So again, thanks for watching. Have a good day.